The Israeli military has announced that it currently controls 40% of Gaza City, a significant development in the ongoing conflict. This information was shared by a military spokesperson on Thursday, highlighting the impact of the bombardment that has forced many Palestinians to flee their homes. However, despite Israeli orders to evacuate, thousands of residents have chosen to remain in the city, enduring the destruction around them as Israeli forces continue their advance. According to health authorities in Gaza, Israeli strikes across the region resulted in the deaths of at least 53 individuals on Thursday, with the majority of casualties occurring in Gaza City. Israeli troops have made significant progress, moving through the outer suburbs and now standing just a few kilometers from the city center. Brigadier General Efi Defrin, a spokesperson for the Israeli military, stated during a press conference, "We continue to damage Hamas infrastructure. Today we hold 40% of the territory of Gaza City," specifically mentioning the neighborhoods of Zaytun and Sheikh Radwan. He further indicated that the military operation is set to expand and intensify in the coming days, emphasizing, "We will continue to pursue Hamas everywhere," and asserting that the mission will only conclude once all Israeli hostages are returned and Hamas's governance is dismantled. Defrin also revealed that Chief of Staff Eyal Zamir informed cabinet ministers that without a comprehensive plan for the aftermath of the conflict, the military might have to impose direct control over Gaza. This notion has been a point of contention, particularly among far-right members of Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's government, who advocate for establishing military rule and settlements in Gaza, a proposal that Netanyahu has so far dismissed. The offensive in Gaza City commenced on August 10th as part of Netanyahu's strategy to eliminate Hamas militants from the area where Israeli forces have faced the fiercest fighting during the initial stages of the war. This military campaign has drawn international criticism due to the escalating humanitarian crisis and has sparked significant concern within Israel itself, with reports of strategic disagreements between military leaders and political figures. One resident, Nader, a mother of 5, expressed her despair, stating, "This time I am not leaving my house. I want to die here. It doesn't matter if we move out or stay. Tens of thousands of those who left their homes were killed by Israel too. So why bother?" Her words reflect the deep sense of hopelessness felt by many in the region. Residents have reported that Israeli forces have been bombarding various districts in Gaza City, including Zaytun, Sabra, Tufa, and Shajaya, from both the ground and air. Tanks have advanced into the eastern part of Sheikh Radwan, leading to the destruction of homes and igniting fires in makeshift encampments. In one particularly intense bombardment in the Tufa neighborhood, medics reported that 5 homes were damaged, resulting in the deaths of 8 individuals and injuries to many others. Mahmoud Basal, a spokesperson for the Civil Emergency Service in the territory, described the devastation, stating, "The Israeli occupation targeted a gathering of civilians and several homes in the Mashara area of the Tufa neighborhood, a fire belt that completely destroyed 4 buildings." He added, "Even if the Israeli occupation issues warnings, there are no places that can accommodate the civilians. There are no alternate places for the people to go to." The Israeli military has not commented on these specific reports, but has maintained that its operations are focused on dismantling militant tunnels and locating weapons caches. Much of Gaza City has been devastated in the early weeks of the conflict, which began in October-November 2023. Before the war, the city was home to about 1 million people, and many are believed to have returned to live among the ruins, particularly after Israel ordered evacuations from other areas and launched offensives elsewhere. Israel has once again urged civilians to leave Gaza City for their safety, claiming that 70,000 have complied and moved south. However, Palestinian officials contest this figure, stating that fewer than half that number have actually evacuated, with many thousands still caught in the path of the advancing Israeli forces. Amjad al-Shawah, head of the Palestinian NGOs network, warned that the current displacement could pose severe risks to the most vulnerable populations, particularly children suffering from malnutrition. He remarked, "This is going to be the most dangerous displacement since the war started," noting that the refusal of many to leave amid the bombardment indicates a profound loss of faith in the possibility of safety. Palestinian and UN officials have asserted that there is no safe haven in Gaza, even in areas designated as humanitarian zones by Israel. Health officials in Gaza have reported that 370 individuals, including 131 children, have succumbed to malnutrition and starvation due to acute food shortages, primarily in recent weeks. In response, Israel claims to be taking steps to improve humanitarian conditions in Gaza, including increasing the flow of aid into the enclave. The conflict erupted on October 7, 2023, when Hamas militants launched an attack on southern Israel, resulting in the deaths of approximately 1,200 people, most of whom were civilians, and the abduction of 251 hostages taken into Gaza. Since then, Israeli military actions have reportedly resulted in the deaths of over 63,000 Palestinians, the majority of whom are civilians, leaving much of the territory in ruins. The likelihood of a ceasefire or a resolution to secure the release of the remaining 48 hostages, of whom 20 are believed to still be alive, appears increasingly bleak. Following a week-long visit to assess the situation in Gaza and the West Bank, two Democratic U.S. Senators Chris Van Hollen and Jeff Merkley, expressed their concerns, stating, "Based on our conversations and our observations, we came away with the inexplicable conclusion that the Netanyahu government is engaged in a campaign of ethnic cleansing in Gaza and slow-motion ethnic cleansing in the West Bank. This situation raises critical questions about the future of Gaza and the broader implications for peace in the region." What are your thoughts on the Israeli military's actions and the humanitarian crisis unfolding in Gaza? Do you believe there is a path forward, or is the situation destined to worsen? Share your opinions in the comments.